Good Tuesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window, and our unseasonably warm and mild weather continues as we look down at the Wenatchee Valley from our cross camera at Wenatchee Heights, of course, courtesy of Sky-Fi and their tower cameras. Look at that gorgeous day. Blue sky, a couple of fair weather clouds out there today with temperatures at least 10 degrees above normal. The reason, we're seeing a large area of high pressure just off the coast of Washington, Oregon, and British Columbia. There you see it. It's creating or bringing in a lot of warm air. At the same time, we're seeing a pretty strong northwest flow aloft, which is bringing just some clouds and some scattered showers to far eastern parts of Washington. But for the most part, most of the state enjoying that high pressure and the warm temperatures that it brings. How long will it last? We'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on in your weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The National Transportation Safety Board expects to have a preliminary finding next week on the cause of a crash yesterday in Chelan that killed the pilot. And a direct flight from East Wenatchee to the San Francisco Bay Area appears to be closer to reality. But first, we begin tonight. Two schools were placed on lockdown, and residents in northwest Ephrata were told to stay in their homes and lock their doors after a man assaulted a security officer at the courthouse and fled into town. Grant County Sheriff's Office used a police dog in the search for Joshua Mayer. Mayer allegedly assaulted a female Grant County courthouse security officer at a security checkpoint, then fled into the northwest section of Ephrata. The officer was believed to have suffered a leg injury and was taken to a local hospital. Ephrata High School and Grant County were on lockdown, and other schools took precautionary measures as the manhunt was underway. Anyone who sees Mayer is advised to call 911 and not try to apprehend him themselves. The National Transportation Safety Board expects to have a preliminary finding next week on the cause of a crash yesterday in Chelan that killed the pilot. The plane, a JA-30 Superstall, crashed in an orchard about 6:30 a.m. Fire crews extinguished the fiery wreckage but found the pilot dead. Well, a direct flight from East Wenatchee to the San Francisco Bay Area appears to be closer to reality, according to an official with the Port of Chelan County. NCWLIFE Steve Hare sat down with Chelan County Port District Executive Director Jim Kuntz for an update.
So last week, Trent Moyers and I were in Tucson to an aviation conference where all the airlines attend, and they're able to spend 20 minutes with each of the airports through kind of the speed dating format. And so we had some really good meetings with some of the airlines, and the goal is additional air service for the Wenatchee Valley. And a couple of good leads. We still would like to have United come into our market and provide that direct service to San Francisco, and so they're currently considering that. If that doesn't work on their schedule, there's a company called Contour Airlines that we find intriguing that potentially could provide that service down to the Bay Area, to the Oakland area. And then the other conversation that we're optimistic about is Allegiant Airlines, which is not a daily service, but less than daily service that provides services to the Phoenix and Las Vegas. And they expressed to us some interest in our market, that Wenatchee could be a good market for them to commence service.
Tell us a little more about Contour, because that sounds rather fascinating. They've got it's a smaller aircraft, as I understand.
Yeah, so Contour is a kind of a standalone airline. They don't have a lot of code sharing, but it's a 30-seat regional jet, very comfortable, pressurized, and they're providing some air service now from that Northern California area into Oakland. And they're very interested in our market. They think Wenatchee works for them, and so we're going to continue to have some dialogue with them, and they might end up being the purveyor of those services, but we're going to also continue to talk with United.
Interesting discussions right now with these airlines, but I know that the port, with a number of private investors through a public-private partnership, has created this fund, apparently, to serve as kind of an enticement for airlines to come to this market to help kind of cushion any kind of a financial blow that they might experience in their first year of operation. But you had some interesting information on that for your board this morning, and really that is not the enticement that you thought it would be.
Yeah, so just real quick about what the enticement is. We got a $750,000 federal grant thanks to Senator Maria Cantwell, and then $400,000 from local businesses. So we have about a $1.1 million enticement. But what was interesting at the conference, they announced that there is 141 airports across the country over the last 5 years that had enticements for airlines to start service. Only 44% of those enticement offers did airlines even accept. And the reason is they don't want to go into a market for a short period of time. They want sustainability. And so if they're going to come into the Wenatchee market, yeah, the revenue guarantee, which we would provide, is helpful to them, but they want to make sure that they can stay in the market for many, many years, not only until the money runs out. And so very interesting that airlines don't always take the enticement.
But it sounds like you're pretty encouraged at this point, and your level of confidence sounds pretty positive that we're going to get that flight.
Yeah, I'm
Bay Area flight.
Yes, I think we'll get a Bay Area flight. Just to let you know, we have 62,000 passenger boardings a year. It was a 7.5% increase over last year. So our market is doing very well. Strong demand for the Bay Area. I'm optimistic we're going to get the flight.
Coming up next, Chelan's renovation work on the Wooden Avenue Bridge will reach a key milestone Wednesday with an all-day paving project. People working to form a 51st state will bring their cause to Wenatchee this weekend. And a Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife police officer came to the rescue last week after a surly grouse kept attacking firefighters during training. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At some point, we realized that value and practicality go hand in hand. A time when an unnoticed accumulation of items has become burdensome. These possessions still have value, but now lack usefulness. Donate your unwanted items to Goodwill and become a job creator. Your donations allow Goodwill to provide much-needed training to job seekers in our community, and that's pretty useful for everyone. Be a job creator. Donate. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Cashmere. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Cashmere is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Cashmere has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Cashmere's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
Welcome back. In another news, with tourism season bearing down, Chelan's renovation work on the Wooden Avenue Bridge will reach a key milestone tomorrow with an all-day paving project. That will mean significant traffic disruptions for much of the day, with the city hoping the asphalt will be cooled enough to drive on by 5 tomorrow night. It will also mean the closure of the intersection of Wooden and Columbia Street. Work on the almost $4 million bridge project, which includes the new Wooden Avenue Landing Park, began last fall and was expected to be completed this month. It will turn the bridge into a one-way with widened sidewalks, a bike lane, and enhanced streetscapes. People working to form a 51st state will bring their cause to Wenatchee this Saturday. Republican State Representative Matt Shea of Spokane Valley will be the featured speaker at the North Central Library rally from 2 to 4 p.m. That'll be held at the Elks Hall Grand Ballroom, located at 27 South Chelan. Doors open at 1:30. The new state, which would be called Liberty, would essentially cut Washington in half and form a new state out of central and eastern Washington. Organizers believe this side of the state has lost its voice in the liberal politics of western Washington. Last month, Liberty State adopted the AR-15 as its official firearm. In addition to the Wenatchee rally, Liberty State will hold a potluck Tuesday at 5 p.m. at the Okanagan Grange Hall. Well, a Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife police officer came to the rescue last week after a surly grouse kept attacking firefighters during training. As Officer Chris Mositer responded to the aggressive grouse call at the Fire Training Academy in North Bend, he too found himself under attack. As he told Facebook, quote, "The grouse came out of nowhere and began pecking and grabbing at his pant leg. The blue grouse was so engrossed in tearing off the pant leg, he didn't notice Officer Mositer slowly bending down to pick him up until it was too late," unquote. The grouse was then placed in a cage and relocated far away from the academy. By the way, the Fire Training Academy is located on Grouse Ridge Road. You're watching the NCW Life Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCW Life Evening News. Stay with us.
When you have to get there on time and looking good, call Fast, Friendly, Reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Available 24/7, AC Checker Taxi has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee for your pre-booked call. Some conditions apply. Call 663-8294. AC Checker, 663-TAXI. Schedule your ride ASAP or book up to a year in advance online at acchecker.com. American Classic Checker Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome back to the NCW Life Evening News. In tonight's feature story, we continue our celebration of National Nurses Week with the NCW Life magazine. Tonight, producer Caitlin Hedersheet sits down with Danielle Morrison, a nurse at Central Washington Hospital.
My name is Danielle Morrison. I'm a nurse on the Progressive Care Unit, and I've been a nurse for just about a year and a half now. My love for nursing really began when I got to shadow my mom at her job. She used to work at a long-term care facility so that my brother and I would be able to spend more time with her. So some days I would get to go to her work and shadow and see what she really did with the patients. And there is nothing, not to sound selfish, but there is nothing more fulfilling than being able to sit and talk with someone and see their face light up just because they feel, you know, that someone cares about them. And so I would sit and help feed the patients and walk with them down the hallway and talk with them. And my mom said the moment she knew that I was going to be a nurse was one day one of the elderly patients was walking down the hallway and her shoes were untied, and I stopped her and I tied her shoes so that she, you know, wouldn't fall. So the only other thing I ever wanted to be was an astronaut, and I didn't really see that happening. So at my preschool graduation, they had us declare at 3 years old what we wanted to do for the rest of our lives, and I chose nursing and just stuck with it. I work on the Progressive Care Unit, and so we specialize in cardiac as well as neuro, so that's the brain and the heart. And so anybody that comes into our hospital and has open heart surgery, has a heart attack of any sorts, they come to the Progressive Care Unit. And then anyone that has a stroke, and there's a couple different types of strokes, but there's a brain bleed and then an embolic stroke. So if you have any sort of stroke, you also come to my unit. A lot goes into working on the progressive care unit, but we usually get there at 7 a.m. We have morning huddle, so that's where our managers, the charge nurse, and the rest of the floor staff meet in a room for 5-7 minutes and discuss kind of like what the floor is looking like, if we're going to be having discharges, admits, how many strokes we have, just to kind of give us an outline of what our day is going to entail. I think that just about every experience that I've had with a patient has changed me for the better. Something that I really have a passion for is dealing with patients that are on comfort care, which means they're coming to the end of their time here with us. And it's really difficult, but you can make such a difference in someone's life towards the end of it. At that point, you're not just the nurse for the patient, you are taking care of the family. The family then becomes your patient, and so it really changes you as a person to realize that we are not immortal, and it's really hard to deal with that, but knowing that you can make someone comfortable and sit and hold their hand while they take their last breath with us on this earth is something that you can't get in any other profession.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get to those details, as we always do, let's take a look outside our weather window once again from the cross camera up at Wenatchee Heights. And thank you to Sky 5 for your tower camera up that way, because it brings us these gorgeous shots. Look at Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, all of the blue sky. Some mid and high level clouds out there today. But boy, I'll tell you what, once again, a very mild day out there. We did see a bit of a north and northwest wind at times 10 to 15 miles an hour, but not before unofficially 79 degrees today. Absolutely beautiful. That's 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year, and we're going up from there, folks. Just wait till we see the 7-day forecast. 54, a very mild start to our day after 46 is our normal high temperature. 92, our record high. That was set back in 1987, and our record low, 34 degrees 9 years ago in 2010. Still no new precipitation the past 24 hours. Sunrise this morning, 5:35. Boy, it comes up very early now, doesn't it? Sunset is at 8:20. Now let's put that surface loop in motion and show you what we can expect moving through the weekend into next week. And not much is going to change. Partly cloudy skies in our forecast tonight. We will see a northwest wind 5 to 15 miles an hour. Once again, we are going to enjoy beautiful overnight lows in the lower to mid 50s. For our midweek Wednesday, mostly sunny. Just a northwest breeze tomorrow and mild. Once again, this area of high pressure is bringing us all of this nice weather. We are seeing a few clouds coming down from the northwest into eastern Washington, but for the most part, and especially by Thursday, it's going to be beautiful statewide. Sunny skies, light winds, and mild temperatures. And then by Friday, as we end the work week, we are going to see a big time warm up. Sunny skies and warmer. Look how big this high pressure builds to as we get into the end of the work week. And that means we're going to transition to our temperature map by Saturday. These oranges and reds are mid 80s and lower 90s, and that will take up much of the Palouse over into Yakima and maybe even into the Wenatchee area. Same goes for Sunday. Sunny skies and unseasonably warm. We may be talking record highs both Saturday and Sunday. We'll keep our eye on that. And as we move into Monday, not much will change. Even though we will cool down somewhat on Monday, we're staying with mostly sunny skies and unseasonably warm temperatures. Let's take a look at those temperatures now in our quick lube and tune forecast. Tonight, another mild overnight low of 53 expected. Mostly sunny, a light breeze for your Wednesday and 82. 83 for Thursday and sunshine. And as I mentioned, the warm up begins by Friday. Sunshine, warmer temperatures, 57 the overnight low after reaching 87 for a high. And then for Saturday and Sunday, look at that Mother's Day weekend. Sunny skies, temperatures 89. I'm still not brave enough to go 90 yet. I may do that tomorrow. We'll see, with lows in the upper 50s. And then by Monday, just a slight cool down. Mostly sunny skies then, with a high temperature of 86. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCW Life Evening News continues right after this.
Hi, my name is David Olson. I'm the Chief Executive Officer at Columbia Valley Community Health. No matter who you are, no matter where you come from, we genuinely care about our patients. And we hope that you trust us to take care of you, to take care of your family. Thank you.
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
Are you watching me? If you're watching me and you are a business owner in North Central Washington, your potential customers could be seeing your TV commercial right now. With Solely on Broadcasting, TV advertising is effective and affordable. Place your ads on the network best suited to your potential customers, or get top-of-mind awareness with 16 cable networks, including NCWLIFE, your local TV channel. Give Solely on Broadcasting a call at 888-2020 today to see how easy and affordable it is to advertise on TV.
And now it's a sports update on the NCW Life channel.
And a happy Tuesday to you. How about Braden Weatherman? The sophomore tossed a complete game no-hitter yesterday in Cashmere's 6-0 victory over Cascade in the first round of the district tournament in Cashmere on Monday. Thanks to Charlie Brown for providing these great images from yesterday's action, as Weatherman was absolutely masterful on the mound. Once the final out was recorded, Weatherman was greeted by his entire team in celebration of the no-hitter, including his coach, Jeff Carlson. Facing elimination, the Bulldog sophomore left-hander kept the Kodiaks off balance, striking out 11 and walking only 3 Kodiaks to complete his complete game no-hit performance. Cashmere now will travel to Ephrata today for they'll have to await the loser of the district championship game between Okanagan and Chelan. Bulldogs and Goats are playing for the title right now. The loser will face Cashmere at 7 o'clock in a loser-out game. Meanwhile, the Big Nine district playing games also today, with Wenatchee hosting West Valley, while Eastmont's on the road at Eisenhower. Also in Central Washington B League play, it's Waterville-Mansfield at Manson. Well, we didn't get any scores in, but to learn via social media that the Eastmont girls golf team has won the regular season Big Nine title. Congratulations. Eastmont finished first at Moses Lake Country Club yesterday to claim its first title since 2007. Congratulations to the Wildcats. Now coming up today, Chelan, Eastmont, Wenatchee, and 20 other teams were competing at the Suncadia Invite. The boys golf tournament teed off this morning at 9 o'clock. Hopefully you have some results for you coming up tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Well, turning to boys soccer, the playoffs continue today. Cashmere travels to Bridgeport to take on the Mustangs in the District 6 1A semifinals. The other semifinal has Cascade hosting Chelan. Also, the District 6 4A semifinals are today in Wenatchee, as actually Wenatchee's on the road. They'll be traveling to Sunnyside. Eastmont playing at West Valley. Both those games kick off coming up at 6 o'clock. Winners will play for the district championship at the High Seeds home field Friday at 6. Well, this is the final week of the regular season in girls softball as Wenatchee hosts Eastmont this afternoon at Walla Walla Point Park. The doubleheader action will have the first game here on the NCWLIFE channel coming up at 7 o'clock. Joel Norman will have your play-by-play. Also today, Waterville-Mansfield travels to Manson for a single game. Well, the Big Nine wraps up the regular season in tennis today. Eastmont on the road at Davis. Wenatchee celebrating Senior Day with Sunnyside in town. The district championships will be Saturday, day 1 at West Valley. Well, Eastmont's Gus Wavra has been announced as the 2018-19 Columbia Basin Big Nine Male Scholar Athlete of the Year and receives a $1,000 scholarship. Gus is a 3-sport athlete, cross-country, swimming, and track, earning multiple letters in each sport, state participant in cross-country and swim, all-conference first-team cross-country, all-conference second-team in swimming, and the 4x100 relay, and honorable mention swimming in the 100 backstroke. He has a 3.918 grade point average, and in addition to sports, he's involved in the Knowledge Bowl as the school's president, also member of the Honor Society Chamber Choir and Jazz Choir. Congratulations, Gus Wavra, the Big Nine Male Athlete and Scholar Athlete of the Year. Well, the Yankees treated Felix Hernandez to a rude Bronx welcome as New York bombed him for 7 runs, 3 home runs in a 7-3 win over the Mariners yesterday in the Bronx. D. Gordon was the lone bright spot on a dreary day in the Big Apple, going 3 for 4 with a home run in the number 9 spot in the lineup. Seattle sends Marco Gonzalez to the mound today to face the Yankees' Masahiro Tanaka. That game underway. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Eric. And before we take another quick peek at your 7-day weather forecast, we leave you tonight with video from our friends at Lake Chelan Now. It's of a moose that's been hanging around the Manson area lately. Take a look. Just goes to show everybody loves Manson. Now let's take a look at that quick Lube and Tune 7-day forecast, and I think you're going to like it, especially if you love above normal temperatures, because we are definitely going to be above normal over the next 7 days. Keep in mind as you look through these days, our normal high temperature right now 69 degrees. 82 your high for Wednesday, 83 on Thursday, and then the big warm up begins on Friday of 87 degrees. We're going to stay with sunny skies into the upcoming weekend. Saturday 89. For Mother's Day Sunday, please plan some outdoor activities. It will be absolutely beautiful with sunny skies, 89 degrees before we cool down just slightly by Monday. Mostly sunny and warm then with a high temperature of 86. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCWLIFE channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with your host, Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us. Have a great night.
The NCWLIFE channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and other stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCWLIFE channel is your local TV station.
What's your Automocha emergency?
It's a Paprika mocha with whip.
The espresso shakes are my most favorite because I can get any flavor. Peanut butter chocolate for pita.
Definitely espresso shakes.
My favorite is the mocha for pitas.
A peach Red Bull. Yes, we are live from Studio 2. And I am Dan Koontz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We got news, we got sports, we got weather, we got obscure holiday, today in history, birthdays. Tom Potter joins me in studio. How are you? And Rod Cool is my guest today. Expert is Bonnie Orr. We're broadcasting live from Studio 4, from Studio 2, Studio 7 here in downtown Wenatchee. Time for the obscure holiday of the day. Obscure Dog to Work Day. Beautician's Day. It's National Selfie Day, and in honor of National Selfie Day, I'm going to take a picture of myself.
Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Mornings at 7 o'clock on the NCWLIFE channel.